Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When the new British Prime Minister took office, right, Mr. Rishi Maharishi, he said that he's going to work in behalf of the British nation and he's going to implement such a economic policies that he's gonna reverse all the economic evils that currently linger on the island. The problem is it doesn't seem to happen like that. It seems like there are other forces who tell Mr. Rishi Maharishi Sunak what are actually the priorities, and you are going to see that Mr. Sunak's priorities are not really, your economy, but is the climate. The climate is the primary interest and priority for your Prime Minister. This article comes from Republic World. It is from today, November 2nd, and this is the title. United Kingdom leader reverses decision not to attend United Nations climate talks. United Kingdom reversed a decision on Wednesday not to attend the UN climate summit in Egypt. The decision was executed by the new UK Prime Minister Rishi Maharishi Sunak. So UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak on Wednesday reversed an earlier decision not to attend the UN climate summit in Egypt. Sunak's office previously said he had to skip the talks, which start on Sunday, because of the pressing domestic commitments, including the closely watched government budget statement expected to be announced on November 17th. So he said, I'm not going to attend that because of the pressing domestic commitments. But Sunak tweeted Wednesday that he would attend the 2-week gathering because there is no long-term prosperity without action on climate change. Did you hear that? Let me repeat. He will attend a 2-week gathering. He's going to go into Egypt, by the pyramids over there, by the Nile, going to take some trips, ladies of the night, and so on. Because there is no long-term prosperity without action on climate change. That's why he's doing it. So actually he's doing it for you. Now, let's read further. And I'm quoting, "There is no energy security without investing in renewables," he wrote. I beg to disagree with that. You don't provide any evidence. You just say it. There is no energy security without investing in renewable. Not true. Not true. Renewable, yeah, they help. I do not think that as the planet is as of now, if you engage the renewables, how you want to engage them? Build more, mills and windmills and whatever, solar panels and so on. You will not, as far as the studies I saw, you would not be able to replace what you have through fossil fuel. You cannot. So that means we have to live a worse life. Somehow, drive less cars, little cars, no cars. How are you going to build the cars? With a renewable? How are you going to, for your batteries, are you going to use lithium, right? How are you going to charge them? How are you going to produce them, process them? The technological process requires a lot of energy and a lot of pollution. How are you going to do it? With solar and wind? I do not believe that a bit. But anyway, he's saying it as it's a given, and people who don't realize that, hey, wait a second. If this is not cotton, it's made out of plastic. Plastic is what? Petrol product. Everything that you have out of plastic is petrol product. Now think about your car. Look around your car and see how much plastic is inside. 98%, I think, it's plastic around you. What is that? Are you going to change that with what? With wood or with air and sun? You're not going to have plastic around, just air and sun? It's impossible. But anyway, Maharishi thinks that we are all idiots. So, Sunak's earlier decision to skip the talks were criticized by many, including climate advisor Alok Sharma. Man, the UK currently holds the presidency of the conference of the party's COP and hosted the climate summit last year in Glasgow, Scotland. Green Party lawmaker Caroline Lucas said Sunak's U-turn was an embarrassing misstep on the world stage. Let this be a lesson to him. Climate leadership matters, she tweeted. Well, let me give you a little story here, okay? And the story goes like this. There was and is a guy called Vladimirovich Putin, a bad dude, okay, bad, all right? So this Vladimirovich Putin, he was interviewed many times, unfortunately, because why would you give him a platform to tell us what he thinks? He was interviewed by, I think it was two French news something. So they came to interview. And they asked him, it was about the elections in United States of America before Donald Trump was elected. And this weasel asked him, okay, what do you think about President Trump if he gets elected? What do you think Hillary Clinton if she gets elected? Or something like that. You have a preference, that was like tested the guy. But the guy said, well, you know what, we don't care. And we, Russia. And I tell you why, he said. Because I've been under, he said, 5 US presidents. And in the election process, in the campaign, they say many things. We will do this, we will do this, and we'll do this. And he said great things. And he said, for instance, you have former President Obama, he was talking about Guantanamo Bay, closing Guantanamo Bay. Did he close it? No. And he said, this is what happens. A lot of people, a lot of these candidates go with good ideas, idealistic ideas. That's what Putin said, the bad dude. And he said, when they get in the office, when they get elected, they get in the office, second day in the office, some people in suits with ties and black suits and khaki suits and all that, they come and they tell these new elected leaders, presidents, how things are done. And whatever idealistic ideas that president had in his campaign, when he gets in the office, he's told by other people how things work over there, okay? And this is a Russian guy, a bad dude, which a lot of connections in the intelligence community, if you know what I mean. So I think he's got a little piece of information here and there. What he meant is that when he gets over there, the interest, especially in this case, Putin said, but a little bit like that it was the military industrial complex and the intelligence community who come and tell, what's his name, the president, hey buddy, zip it, we are making the rules here, you just go over there, wave your hands, pretend you're tough, read a teleprompter who's your speechwriter typed it for you, and you just follow along, and we're gonna get along. So I think that's the same thing that happens in many countries when you have interests that are stronger than the presidents, the whomever is in charge. So in this case, Mr. Sunak, he said, no man, I'm going to stay home, and I'm going to take care of the British people, citizens, subjects, however you guys want to call yourselves. And he said, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to take care of it. But he got over there and he got a few phone calls, or some weasels told him, well, you got to show up over there. And that is chop chop. And he said, okay. So that was the whole turn. It was not that he cared about the Lucas or the whatever Green Lucas or whomever said something. It was not about that. There are other interests that came and said, hey buddy, this is the list. Okay, you gotta check. go. This is one of the ones that you have to check. Go. And it's going to go 2 weeks because climate change is a... There you go. So for me, it was not a surprise at all. For me, it was just an example. You can say, well, I mean, you don't know that. Well, believe me. And if you don't believe me, just pay attention. Just pay attention. And you're going to find a pattern. And you will just... The justification, the argument Maharishi gave us, really? You give that to a child? But he takes us as being children, and the mass media cover for him. Why? Because they're on the same team, and he's just a, why do you think at 42 or whatever old he is, he was appointed Prime Minister of Great Britain? Because he's a superstar? Probably he is. But believe me, he has to follow the rules. And the rules are already written for him. And he said, yes, 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 I will follow them. There you have it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.